Okay, so introduction to charcoal. I don't know if anyone has used charcoal before, but charcoal is extremely messy. Can you see me? Okay. So charcoal is extremely messy. So first thing I advise you is to create a space where there aren't any important documents. All right, so important documents, clear. Clear, clear, clear. All right, check. Okay. Second thing is wear black, okay? Don't wear white or any piece of clothing that is precious to you. Like charcoal will get on you. It will get on the table, on the surface. It might get on your face, like when you're scratching your neck or like when you're scratching your nose or picking your nose or like picking your ears. I don't know what you do, but people will know if you've been picking your nose because charcoal dust or bits will get everywhere, whether you like it or not, okay? So just be aware of that, okay? So, here. I don't know if you can see this. So what I recommend you to do before you get into charcoal, like even your volute scales, your nice at volute scales, definitely before you start your charcoal bus drawing, is to just grab a piece of newsprint or in your sketchbook, right? But last class I asked you to get some pieces of charcoal. So this here, right here, is something called vine charcoal, and I'm going to show you a few techniques and just like what the different pieces of charcoal do. But this is vine charcoal. This here, it's a little bit bigger. It's this one seems very fragile and delicate. This one is a bit sturdier, a bit heavier. This one is compressed charcoal, okay? And then here's another example of compressed charcoal. It's like a smaller piece. So when you go to like the art store and you see that it's not like the size, specific size or shape, that's fine as long as it says compressed charcoal, okay? And then I asked you to get charcoal pencil, right? Charcoal pencil is great for detail work. You are going to see that there are different kinds of charcoal pencils. So I asked in the email, I only have one with me right now, but for you to get soft, medium, and hard. And basically it's like the same thing as graphite pencils where, you know, the H's are harder. So therefore, when you shade in, it's lighter, and then the lower you get into the B's, it's soft. The lead is softer, so it's just darker. So same thing for charcoal: soft, medium, hard. Medium's like in the middle, like a 2B, a B, and then you can think of it that way. And then hard is more towards the H's, where shading, you get lighter shading, and then softer is like the charcoal is just softer and darker. Okay, when you press down. So that's that. Sharpener I should have somewhere. I would recommend two types of erasers, just like a regular normal rubber eraser, and then this is crucial, this kneaded eraser. Sometimes like they will sell all of this in a little pack. When you go to the art store, just be aware that different brands will sell different qualities of charcoal. So while I know that art materials aren't cheap, I would recommend staying away from the store brand kind. Okay, so for AC Moore or Hobby Lobby, I believe they have a brand, and what I have found, I forgot the brand name, so I'm sorry, but what was the brand name? I forgot. But in the past, when students brought me, you know, their charcoal brought from that store, and they're like, I'm having issues, like the charcoal is waxy or it's like scratching the surface of my paper. I found out that that brand specifically, because it was lower quality, would be waxy, which doesn't make sense because charcoal should not be waxy. And it was, something was in it that was making it scratch the paper, and it was ruining their work. So students would have to start over, which totally, sucked. Stuck. Stinky winky. Okay? But here we go. I'm going to sharpen my pencil a bit. When you sharpen, it gets everywhere as well. And the lead, is also very soft. So it will break easily. But here we go. This is vine charcoal. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just gonna move everything here. But vine charcoal is very light and soft, and you can shade in like this, and then when you wipe it away, it will get all over your fingers, but it will also wipe away a lot of the paper, like so. Okay, and also make sure to have some napkins or rags with you, just in case you have. It smudges very, very easily, okay? So when you're working, make sure to have a piece of paper, even more so than the graphite. Smudges everywhere, it gets everywhere on your arms and such. So this is vine charcoal. Vine charcoal is great for covering a large surface area where you need like a light volume, and it's very workable, controllable. Like if you mess up, you can erase it easily, right? It comes off. Another thing about charcoal is that it's very easy to get dark, but it's very hard to get light. So let's say you go in with a compressed charcoal and you just look at how dark it gets, and look at all the charcoal bits coming off, flying off from just by shading it in, versus the vine charcoal. Well, giving the same amount of force in shading, but look at the difference in darkness values, right? Compressed, and you can smooth it out with your finger, and look at what happens versus compressed versus fine. Okay, so vine charcoal, there's going to be also, depending on what the store provides, they will also have different like hardness levels, and also the quality. It can be very good or very bad. So this is very good. It's just very soft and smooth. The one I was using before was a little bit like scratchy. So if you notice, like this is very scratchy right now. Versus this one's soft. It might be like a difference in, softness or hardness, but same for vine charcoal, like depending on quality, it can scratch your paper. It just can be very hard to work with. So I would recommend something good. There we go. So that's that. And then charcoal pencil. You can think of it as just like compressed charcoal in pencil form, okay? And this is good for getting small details, making fine lines, and it's good for shading. But when you're shading in large areas of volume, I would recommend the compressed or vine charcoal, okay? So don't overuse your charcoal pencil on large areas where you don't need to, okay? Save that for smaller details and areas, okay? Now with same thing, you can smudge, it gets everywhere, don't touch your face. So with a kneaded eraser, it's good to use this for when you're pulling out or lightening up lighter values. For example, you have area of vine charcoal right here, right? And let's say you're drawing like an eye or something, and there was like, the lid was lighter than this value here. Doing it backwards, but I don't know if you can see this, but you can erase out, okay, or pull out lines and values. You see that with your kneaded eraser. Okay, same thing for the charcoal, but it's very hard and you have to rub it, and your kneaded eraser will get very dirty. But the good thing about the kneaded eraser is how you clean this is by like chewing it with your fingers in a way, right? And it becomes, cleaner again, like this. And you just go in and rework it and such, okay? So And then let's say you have to get darker here. And you got an eye. You want to shade in. So there's another thing called a blending stub that I don't have with me actually, but you can also make one with a paper towel or tissue. And it's basically, well, it's not the same obviously, but it's basically it's like a pointed paper stub that you can go in and blend in small areas. So when you have a large area and you have to blend it in, I wouldn't recommend using a paper stub and like blending a little pointed tip with the whole piece of paper surface area. But like if it's like a small area like this that you have to blend out, you can use the blending stub. You can use your finger, you can use the kneaded eraser very lightly, but it will erase it away, so just be careful. Okay, so I think that's that. Compressed charcoal, here's the other one. Also, compressed charcoal has different hardness levels. Some are more waxy, some are more scratchy, so just be careful. So let's go ahead and try drawing a Voluscale next video.